What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Friday night. Y'all know what that means. It's cool. It's box. It's interactive sports talk. So, as always, man, I am one half of the dynamic duo. They call me Box, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, the one and the only, rocking the Devin Nuggets hat tonight.
Yes, sir. That clean edition. Cool McCain, baby. And we got some guests. So we're going to let y'all know who we are, and we're going to get things popping.
Because we are the Play Callers. So as you can see, we do have a couple of special guests with us tonight, man. We got Brian Snow and Wyatt joining us tonight. So I'm going to give you guys a quick chance to introduce yourselves, and then we're going to kick this thing off.
Well, first, let me say hi to Wyatt. I actually get a chance to say hi to him. And
nice to see you, man.
To both of you, gentlemen, I absolutely love the Play Caller Show. I host a little thing we like to call Snowman in the Morning, 5 days a week at 11 a.m. Eastern. And as y'all can see, I'm rocking the hat of one of the two teams I'm cheering for this weekend. And that, of course, my wife's team, the Indianapolis Colts. But you can see Snowman in the Morning on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch 5 days a week at 11 a.m. Eastern. Search the ID official SIT Morn.
That's what's up. And welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Nice to see all you guys. Finally, get to be on here. I appreciate you guys having me on here. As everybody may not know, I am one half of Squad Pod Sports. The other half is Vernon, who does the show with me. We release our episodes every Thursday. Usually our weekly picks at noon, and then the full episodes around 4 o'clock. But you can just catch us on Twitter at Squad Pod Sports or on YouTube at Waves 5 Media.
All right.
You know what? How the hell did you come up with the name Squad Pod Sports? I think that's awesome.
Oh, man. I mean, it originally started with the regular podcast that we have just called Squad Pod.
Okay.
So it was the branch off of that, just doing sports. And then we kind of started doing other stuff on the channel as well.
Okay.
And of course, we have to give a quick shout out to Sideline Sports as well.
Yes.
Big shout out there.
Definitely.
Shout out to the Box Man, Cool McCool, and the Squad Pod. And Wyatt, are you drinking already?
It's water. It's water.
Oh,
it's just water.
Don't tell
I was
that.
gonna say wrong show, Wyatt. This isn't the sip off, man.
It is for me. No, this is totally ice water that I have in here. This is totally ice water.
I guess we all rocking water tonight. So
yep.
Hey, man.
We're doing it right.
I don't know what Cool got in his cup, but
Oh, it's definitely some water hydration here, sir. Little Deer Park over ice. That's all.
Listen, we all talk for a living, okay? The water's necessary.
It is.
Y'all better know that.
So speaking of making a living, man, Cool. How we paying the bills tonight, man? What we talking about?
Well, you already know, man. We all already know what we talking about tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? We popped that off earlier this week, just so when we get here, it's all love. But just for a slight reminder, for those of us who may need a reminder, a couple of things we're talking about here. But we're just going to start off simply with the NFL playoff clinching scenarios. What do we think is going to happen with these scenarios, and how do we think these teams are going to play out? So, we'll go to the AFC. We'll start with that. First, we'll talk about the teams that have clinched. So Cincinnati's clinched the AFC North Division title.
Good. No more Browns.
Kansas City Chiefs have clinched the AFC West Division title. So they're in.
Not surprised.
Yeah, as expected.
Yep. Tennessee Titans have clinched the AFC South Division title.
Only by 2 games and then beating my Colts. Damn it.
Well, hey, y'all have the greatest quarterback in the world, supposedly. So I don't know.
Yeah, we ain't the Dallas Cowboys, and thank God for that, okay?
And that's a direct shot at Jahan Phillips, in case he's watching. The Buffalo Bills have clinched the playoff berth, and the New England Patriots have clinched the playoff berth. So then we'll. So obviously we're talking about right now. We have 5 teams that are in the playoffs. We know that there's 7 spots, so we have 2 more people that need to clinch a playoff berth, and we also have a couple of positioning things that are in here. So start
Here's
rolling
one
with those.
right here.
We'll get to those bums. And they're bums because the quarterback's a bum. As long as your quarterback's a bum, you're a bum.
Then
That's the way the NFL works.
I guess the Dallas Cowboys are bigger bums than we are.
There is no part of this show that you cannot talk trash about the Dallas Cowboys and no one here is not upset with you. So you are good. You could talk trash about them all you want to.
Listen,
You know
the way I'm feeling about this weekend, tomorrow night, fly Eagles fly, and Sunday, I'm riding with the horseshoe and I'm riding with the gold rush.
I would put it like this.
To win in Los Angeles on Sunday by at least 2 scores. I'm riding with the gold rush to win by at least 2 scores on Sunday because I read earlier today, I didn't mention this on the show, that the Rams defense is supposed to be peaking at the right time. Yeah, they said that last year and we walked off on their ass.
Well, I guess we don't need to ask Snowman. We could try picks who he's picking between that game.
Hey, this is all fun and love anyway, because
Yes,
like I
sir.
said, I love you guys and I love this show and cool. I got to thank you personally for inviting me to be a part of the festivities tonight.
No problem, guys. No problem. This is what it's all about, man. Want a quick shout out to Score No Score app. Just make sure you guys check that out. Good app. It allows you the ability to just go on and essentially for plays, just check and see if you think the team is going to score or not score. I mean, pretty simple, right?
Pretty simple.
There is a tutorial. Hopefully you won't need it, but there is one on the Sideline Sports Network page.
I'm playing that app Sunday for all the late games. I'm playing that for all the late
We'll
games.
probably be perusing all the games, so I may not get a chance to play it for the late games, but I will be watching and enjoying myself. Now back to the clinching.
At least do it for tomorrow, so I can have the honor of playing Fly Eagles Fly on my show Monday morning to kick off
Well, we
the
need
show.
to do that. Yes, we need to do that, but we can do that either way because we're in the playoffs.
There you go.
Yes, sir. So Baltimore, if a Baltimore wins and the Chargers lose, the Colts lose, and Miami lose, then Baltimore is the clinches a playoff berth.
That's not happening.
They need a lot of help. They need a lot of help. But hey,
That's the least happening scenario this week.
that's the position they put themselves in. So hey, you got to ride where you put yourself.
I will mention this point, because the 49ers are kind of in the same position, but they control their own destiny. When you're in with Baltimore, I have 2 reasons why I feel they're in the position that they're in. First of all, Greg Roman. Anybody remember what he did to Colin Kaepernick? He's doing the same thing to Lamar Jackson. And secondly, in the form of a question, who's running the ball for them?
Nobody. Crickets. Nobody. And got Lamar out right now.
To quote Keith Sweat, nobody.
Nobody.
And just so we're all clear, Big E, what up as well? Also approves
What's
your
up, E?
trash talking of the Cowboys. So, everyone's in on that, sir. The only person that wouldn't be in on this, the lady of basketball, but she's not here this week. Yeah, everybody else.
Megan wouldn't be in on it. She formed the power of Voltron by herself and tried to eliminate all of us for talking trash about the Cowboys.
Well, it is what it is. Buffalo clinches the AFC East division title with a win or a Patriots loss, or if they both tie. So basically, Buffalo win, you're in. And you also clinch the AFC East division title. Buffalo is playing the New York football midgets. I'm just kidding, the New York Jets.
They clinch. If they win, they clinch.
You know what? That's a 44-3 Let me use an example of Cowboys and Eagles, because I want to say it was 2008 when everyone expected the Cowboys to roll into Philadelphia and beat the hell out of them, but instead the Eagles rolled 44-6. That's what's going to happen to the Jets this weekend.
Yeah. And then the Patriots, I think, don't they have to play the Dolphins as well? And then they would end up matching up with the Bills for a third time in the playoffs if that happened.
The eliminated Dolphins, who are probably a little ticked off because they are eliminated. So.
As my wife does best, just a little ticked off.
Now, Cincinnati can clinch the AFC's number 1 seed, only first round bye and home field advantage. Now, let me repeat that. Cincinnati can clinch the AFC's number
hardly
1
anybody
seed.
picked to do anything this year.
Yeah.
Only first round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. If they win, Tennessee, Kansas City, and New England lose. Or if they win, Tennessee loses, Kansas City loses, and Buffalo wins.
You know what? I can see Cincinnati having one of those two scenarios happen to clinch that number 1 seed.
Only
problem is Kansas City plays Denver.
Yeah.
Kansas City's a little
thing is, here's something. Oh, go ahead, Wyatt. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, then you got Joe Burrow and possibly Jamar Chase sitting out for this game as well. They already said Joe Burrow is going to be sitting this week, so I don't even know who's the backup for Cincy right now.
Well, but you got to remember who Cincy's got to play this week.
The Browns, the Baker Mayfield-less Browns, if that even matters, if he was in there to begin with. So I mean, you got Case Keenum.
Like it matters. Like it matters. It's the Cleveland Clowns, for God's sake.
That is true.
Saying anything?
That is true.
They do have somebody running the ball, but that's about it.
They have somebody running the ball. I sure as hell haven't seen.
If they'll use them,
they have someone. No, whether they use them or not, but they have someone.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
I'm just gonna say that I think with all the things that have to happen for Cincinnati to get that 1 seed, even Cincinnati's looking at it and thinking it's not that feasible. That's why they're not playing Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
They pretty much already said we're not going to be the 1 seed. There's no point in risking our quarterback getting hurt.
And they're already playing over there. They're already playing over there because most folks in the media
anyway. So.
Yeah, most folks in the media didn't give Cincinnati a chance to do anything, and they've already clinched the AFC North. So I think this is a good move, resting Burrow. They probably will rest Chase, and they're minus Joe Mixon because Mixon's in health and safety protocols. As far as I know, I haven't checked today's update.
P-Ryan's got it.
So, P-Ryan got 400 yards on the team in college. They're cool.
P-Ryan's got it. Yeah, P-Ryan's got it. So the Indianapolis Colts, who someone here is an affinity for, I believe, but I know one person that does not have an affinity for them.
Who has an affinity for them? I would never guess.
This is my wife's team, the Indianapolis Colts.
They're going to clinch a playoff berth if they win or tie.
By beating the
win
hell
and
out
you're
of
in.
Jackson.
Now, they can also get in if the Chargers lose and Baltimore and Pittsburgh tie, or if the Chargers lose and Pittsburgh loses and Miami wins. So a couple of scenarios, a lot clearer than last week. Because last week we had teams that had 5-6 different ways. So a lot clearer this week.
What I saw last week with the Colts and letting the Raiders get away, and I had a chance to do a live interview with the radio voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor.
I actually watched that.
I really believe they're going to start fast and they're going to give Jonathan Taylor the ball 35 times. Because against a team that's and thank you, Matt Taylor, for this. Shout to Maytay Colts on Twitter. Against a team 31st in the league in running the football, let Jonathan Taylor go to work.
Well, they don't have Urban Meyer anymore, so there may be their stats are a little skewed because Urban Meyer did everything he could to destroy their team, and it worked pretty well. Yeah, but
don't forget where Urban Meyer started with by making sure they didn't have talent.
Yeah, that's true. Now, the thing with Jacksonville is the thing we have to realize about teams like Denver, Jacksonville, they have nothing to play for after their games. So whether they play Saturday, whether they play Sunday, they have nothing left to play for. This is their Super Bowl. So if you're Jacksonville and everybody thinks you're going to lose and you go out there and you do enough to beat Indianapolis and keep them sitting on the couch with you, that's like a Super Bowl for you. So
Yeah,
Indianapolis, Kansas City, all these teams, you better be careful.
I
And this
did
is
see
the season
some.
of upsets.
Indy hasn't beaten Jacksonville since like 2014 in
in
Jacksonville or something.
in Jacksonville. That changes on Sunday.
Hey, yeah, streaks are meant to be broken eventually.
That changes on Sunday. The biggest problem the Colts have had to contribute to this 7-game losing streak in Jacksonville, they haven't had anybody consistently that can run the football.
Yeah,
Now they do.
But they don't have someone that can consistently throw the ball.
They don't need that on Sunday.
Hey, that is not true. Carson Wentz can consistently throw the football. It's usually to the other team, but he's consistent.
Wait. Cool said the word consistently. And considering I got a vote of confidence from Eric, that includes Dak Prescott and Kyler Murray. Oops.
That's cool. I'm just saying, for the point of the Indianapolis Colts, you have one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks, and me and Wyatt know that for a fact.
No, we don't. The Chicago Bears got 2 of them.
It's
Next
true.
question.
It doesn't matter. They have 2. You have 1 as well.
It works out in Brian's favor though, because I mean, last week Carson had a pretty bad game, so this week he'll kind of follow it up with a mediocre to above average game.
Yeah,
and then
that
maybe
this
go back
might
to
be the week. But this might be the week that he tries to make the pass that he shouldn't make, and it turns into
like
a
hero
kick.
ball. Yeah,
That is a part of Carson Wentz.
That is indeed the shtick for Carson Wentz. So as Wyatt said, he'll follow it up with a mediocre game. But all you have to do, this is what I've said. Matt Taylor has said this to me, and many others have said it. And I did my picks on my show this morning, and I will repost them tomorrow. Just give Jonathan Taylor the ball 30 to 35 times. Let him run.
Also, a quick point. I know we didn't move on, but also a quick point. Frank Reich loves him some Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz loves him some Frank Reich. When you some of your quarterback, you make bad decisions sometimes. When you should run the ball, you don't. I'm just saying they're going to go in very overconfident because they're playing Jacksonville, and they're going to do some stupid things. Now, if that's enough to lose the game or not, we'll see. But
you're trying to get one of my favorite announcers mad at me. I mean,
I'm not trying to get anybody. I'm not trying to get anyone mad at you. He could be mad at me. That's fine, because I'm mad at the whole Indianapolis because they have Carson Wentz. So as long as you have him, I'm mad at you anyway. So it's cool.
See,
it just would be a reciprocal.
Now you're gonna make me drag you on the show and just pick at you for 20 minutes.
Well, you can try to pick at me for 20 minutes, but I think we both know that's not going to work out that way.
No, it's not, because you're going to fire some shots back at me. I know that.
Yes, sir. But Kansas City, I think Kansas City has the easiest path if they win to being the number 1 seed, because all they need to do is win, and then Tennessee loses. That's all they need. So win, and Tennessee loss, and they're in. They play, of course, Denver, as we already stated. So that's, that's probably going to. I think a lot of these are going to be interesting because I think a lot of these you're going to have one piece that they need to happen and not the other one. So it's going to be the 7th tiebreaker on the list or to the 12th tiebreaker is going to make some of these determinations. So I think it's going to be fun. But just saying, right now what they need.
You gonna have cats up in locker rooms, like erasing all the X's and O's, like writing out calculations.
So this team,
this is why I love having Cool on the show with me. And Box, I got to get you on the show with me as well. Cool said the 7th tiebreaker down to the 12th tiebreaker.
Bro, I'm telling you, gonna be crazy.
And the stupidest thing is,
doing fractions,
right? As long as I've watched football, I have actually seen on 2 occasions where they've had to go to at least a 5th tiebreaker. The last time that was done was 1997 with Pittsburgh and Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
But
Brian, you probably remember a few years ago, this wasn't for the playoffs, but it was for a draft pick where the 49ers and the Raiders had so many tiebreakers that they were even.
Yes.
They went to a coin toss.
They did.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember that.
They sure
did.
It
was a coin toss to decide. I think it was like the 8th and 9th picks.
Wow. So the only reason I remember this is because this gentleman right over here is a 49ers fan, and he made sure that I was aware of that.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I remember that coin flip too. Because when I did that was one of the first times I ever did a live draft board. on air, and I had to wait to see which way the coin flipped to figure out who's going to be in that spot. Oh, boy.
So another pretty interesting game here. The Las Vegas Raiders, they win and they're in. Or if Indianapolis loses and Pittsburgh loses, they're in. So
Indianapolis is going to win, so that eliminates that. We don't care about Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
They play the Chargers, right? So I think they have a good chance to win. And
then there was like that interesting thing that like if the Colts lost, if the Chargers and the Raiders tied, they would both be into the playoffs or something. Like I saw that too. It was pretty interesting.
Wyatt, don't you ever swear at me like that again.
But there's a lot of conversation that like, what if the Chargers and the Raiders just like
I know it.
Eagles fans, okay? I know it. We're not loving Carson Wentz, okay?
When I was doing my show this morning, I had my wife with me. She was like feeding me all the scenarios. And I looked at the list and I said, there's no way I'm reading all this on the air. And she was like, I'm just letting you know what's going on. Okay. Because my wife's one of my producers. When she doesn't have to work, she's one of the producers of my show. And she was like feeding me all the scenarios. I'm like, I'm not reading this mess. Not on the air. And she's sitting there giggling.
If the Chargers win, they're in because they have them both listed, of course. So if the Chargers win, they're in. So if Las Vegas or the Chargers win, they're in.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. I'm like, okay, right now the Colts are sitting at 6, the Chargers sitting at 7. They both win, they're in. If the Raiders beat the Chargers, they're in. And I don't see the Colts losing to Jacksonville, so that I'm just basically saying the Raiders and Chargers game is the only game that's going to really matter in terms of who's going to get in.
Yeah, that's the main one for who's going to get in. There is one more game though, because the Steelers and the Ravens play. So, the winner of that game as well has an opportunity. If Pittsburgh wins, the Colts lose, and the Chargers-Raiders game does not end in a tie, then Pittsburgh gets in. That's the most ridiculous scenario ever. I get it.
You took the exact sentence out of my head. You took the exact sentence out of my head because you have to. As Cole was reading it, I'm just sitting here and my brain's going, how the hell is that all going to happen? But then again, you said tie and Pittsburgh in the same sentence. I submit to you the Detroit Lions.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair.
I submit to you the game against the Detroit Lions.
Listen, I will
say about that.
I will say the only possibility you have to look at with some of this stuff is unreasonable as some of these seem. We have seen so many upsets this year, like more than we've ever seen in a single season. It has been absolutely ridiculous. Teams that are god awful have actually beaten really good playoff teams. So anything can happen.
Solidly beat them, not like a last second fluke.
Dominated.
Kicked them in the pants.
Yes.
As my granddaughter was saying. You got kicked in the pants.
Tennessee Titans win, they're in.
Tennessee's already in.
Tennessee's already in.
They get the number 1 seed.
Well, if they win, they get the number 1 seed.
Yeah, if they win, they get the number 1 seed. They can still get it without winning, but if they win, they're in that number 1 seed spot. So they're the big dogs.
And they're playing if I'm right, they're playing the Texans, right?
Yeah.
They are playing the Texans.
Tennessee. So Tennessee is the number 1 seed in the AFC. Barring some craziness.
You can mark the road to the AFC title through Nashville, because
and then they get Derrick Henry back.
I was about to say,
and they get Derrick exactly, and they get Derrick Henry back.
King Henry.
King Henry.
So the NFC is going to be a lot faster, guys, because it's not a lot of teams that have any possibility.
Nope.
Green Bay Packers. They're the number 1 seed. They've clinched that with the only first round bye, so that's a wrap. Nobody else is getting in. Dallas, NFC East Division winners, they're in. Tampa Bay, NFC South Division winner, they're in. Arizona has clinched the playoff berth. The Rams have clinched the playoff berth. And the Philadelphia
Eagles
hurt season.
have clinched a playoff berth. Hurt season, baby.
Hurt season. I'm excited, man.
Very excited, bro.
Very excited.
I'll settle the seventh and final spot right now because the 49ers are going to go to Los Angeles and beat the Rams for a 6th consecutive time. And just to confirm, Lance will start on Sunday, but Garoppolo is available on a limited basis. He's listed as questionable.
So are they going to do the Matt Rule?
Hell
The
no.
old switcheroo.
No.
They'll do the Matt Rule and throw both of them in there.
I think Lance rides the whole way and takes the 49ers to the playoffs.
Okay.
Oh,
So the scenarios, because there are a couple of division clinching things to go through over on the West. So it's just a little quick things to talk about. So if Arizona wins and the Rams lose, they clinch the division. If the Rams win, they clinch the division. If Arizona loses, the Rams clinch the division. So essentially,
what if the Rams tie? Do they get the division?
They still get the division if they tie.
Damn. Okay.
But they're playing y'all. You don't want to tie.
No, we want to punch their ass in the mouth.
Yeah, there you go.
That does nothing for us, sir.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
No problem.
We want to sock the Rams in the mouth, and then next week go back to SoFi and kick them in the stomach.
Now remember this. This is very important for you two gentlemen on that side of the screen, top and bottom. Okay.
I probably already know this.
New Orleans Saints. If they win and you lose, you're out.
But New Orleans is going to get popped in the jaw.
Well, they are playing Atlanta, so you can't say that they're going to get popped in the jaw by Atlanta.
Okay, they're going to get popped in the jaw by Atlanta. I just said it.
You can't say that. That's not fair.
Why not?
That's not realistic.
Why not?
They may lose to Atlanta.
They're going to get popped in the jaw by Matt Ryan.
Atlanta, Matt Ryan can't pop anyone in the jaw.
Here's why I'm saying
anymore.
Yeah, maybe 5 years ago.
But here's why I'm saying it such. 2 of the last 3 seasons, the Saints have had a chance to either clinch a playoff spot or clinch a high seed. They ran into Atlanta. Both times Atlanta beat them. And one of those times, I want to say it was 26-7 down in the Superdome. I believe that was the final score, but then later on, I think it was 2019, but later on the Saints got even. They wound up winning the South anyway.
So to quote someone from the show earlier, I'm just going to simply say this. Streaks are made to end. And the Atlanta team that they're going to put out there this week, they're not going to score enough points to beat New Orleans. I don't think. And the Rams are going to score enough points to beat us. So it doesn't really matter, but I'm just saying you want to win this game. Simply so you want to win. Win and you're in. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the only scenarios.
We're just going to take care of business.
In the NFC. That's it.
Okay. We're just going to take care of our business. We're not worried about anything else. All we're going to do is just get in. That's all the Niners need to do is get in.
I like Eric Wilson's prediction. Shout out to Eric Wilson. You remember that, Snowman?
6-7 NFC Championship. I'm riding it. I'm going with it.
I am with it.
And the game would take place in Santa Clara because of a tiebreaker.
Yeah. Yep. Because we'd be the 7th, y'all would be the 6th. So definitely, but I'm
going with it.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I got nothing to lose. I'm going with it.
I will just say there is a scenario in which the Niners can get in and actually be the 7th seed also, though. If the Niners lose and the Saints lose, the Niners still get in. The
Niners sneak it.
But they'll be the 7th and the Eagles move up to the 6th seed.
But the Eagles have to win.
But if it's still 6-7, the Eagles are going to win. I'm not worried about that. The Eagles are going to win.
I don't know what you're booing, but leave with that nonsense.
You know what? Hey, this is the time. Wait a minute. I got something that'll trigger Tyler Ingram, and I'm doing this in fun. Hey, Tyler Ingram, remember 2 years ago? 8 passes is all you looked at, and yet you still got your butts kicked. And anybody who remembers that game, of course, that was the NFC Championship in Santa Clara. But
speaking of that game, real quickly going back to what you said about the Colts earlier, if the Colts have any sense, they're going to have the same plan that Shanahan did. If Carson Wentz goes out and makes a mistake, do not put the ball back in his hands at all.
No.
Yeah.
No. Well, this is why from the beginning. This is why I'm saying from the beginning. There you go.
It's one drop back and one Carson Wentz.
This is why I'm saying.
That's all y'all need.
Either one mistake, one bad throw, or he gets hit and fumbles that ball.
Fumbles or one.
Tyler, I love fumbles. Tyler, I love you for that comment. Mostert still haunts me.
If you want to talk about people that still haunts Tyler,
oh my gosh,
let's give him another name. Colin Kaepernick. Because what he did to the Green Bay Packers back-to-back years was just embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, he beat him in the regular season, and he beat him in the regular season, and he beat him in the postseason. He beat him in the postseason twice, once in Candlestick and once in Lambeau. And the one game in Candlestick, Kaepernick was just off the damn charts.
All right, so let's actually have some actual conversation here for a second about the game. So the Niners have beat the Rams 5 straight times.
Mm-hmm.
So we talking about streaks being made to end. That's definitely a streak I'm hoping does not end this time. I'm hoping we at least get to 6-0. Hoping we at least get to 6 straight. So
you at least go and get a pick 6 in this game. Matt Stafford, he's giving them out like candy.
Oh, we already got one against him in the game in Santa Clara. Jimmy Ward picked him off.
Tyler, look. So, Tyler, like, yo, they hate NFC championships. I feel you on that. You don't hate them as much as we do in the early 2000s, though.
A little bit. So the Niners do have a little bit of a concern in this game, though. They do have quite a few people on COVID right now.
Yes,
pretty much our entire secondary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And if Matt Stafford was that's been our weak spot all year. That's been our weak spot.
They did activate Ambry Thomas today. They also did announce that Mosley will be back this year. So this week. So we're getting our top cornerback finally this week. That will help.
Is Ward still out?
Right now, Ward and K1 are both still out. But they both can still clear protocols and get activated by tomorrow.
Yeah, this is what I was going to ask if any of those guys
Lenore's the only guy who's not likely to clear protocols.
Okay. I was looking for those reports today, and I have to remember they don't come out to the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about all the Eagles that are on COVID because, like I said, I don't think half of them were going to play anyway. If I'm Nick Sirianni, and I have said, myself several times that he sometimes does very silly things, and he's been given a nickname Silly Sirianni by me, and he has not gotten rid of that nickname. He's placated so far, but he's still Silly Sirianni for me. But if he is wise, what we'll do if anybody's really injured. So I determine injured and hurt differently. If you're hurt, you've been a little banged up, right? It's been a long season, you've been playing a lot of football, but you can still go out there and play. But if you're injured, sit them. I don't care who it is, sit them.
Yeah.
Right.
If they're hurt.
If that ankle still isn't right for Hurts, sit them. Don't even think about playing.
Sit them.
Go ahead and put the stash in and let's run with the backup.
I would do like at least 2 things. Put Kelsey out there for just to start for one drive so he gets the consecutive, his streak still going.
Yep.
And then keep Devontae for like 35 yards to break that rookie record, Deshaun's rookie record.
And then you sit him down and let him rest because
but in all fairness,
the Eagles postseason has already been determined.
It may take the whole game for him to get like 40 yards, though, if we run the ball like we probably do.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you guys, man, I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on Trey Lance. We got a chance to actually see him for the first time last week since the Arizona game back in week 5. I saw a dramatic improvement. I saw some weaknesses early on. I think part of that was Shanahan getting comfortable with what he was going to be comfortable with, him getting comfortable with the game, getting kind of settled in. But the second half, he looked great.
There was a couple questionable like play calls and like style that was going on in that first half. But like you were saying, I think Trey Lance played really well that game.
He did.
Yeah.
And the thing, it's like when the West Coast offense was born, you always have a script to get you comfortable within the game. And now all coaches have like from 15 to 25 plays to open the game. Some of those plays Shanahan repeated because he had early success. which is why the 49ers late in the first half got a field goal to walk off the first half, and that gave them all the momentum they needed. Some of those plays you don't have to repeat.
Yeah.
Some of those
they
plays,
had a couple read like QB runs that were designed, and I was like, it was weird because like you want your QB to be comfortable first, and then you'll be able to do stuff like that.
Exactly.
They were just coming
that's
out with
why,
that in the first quarter or so.
And
It's
Lance
almost like he was trying to use that to get him comfortable.
and Lance didn't run but
Use
twice.
the RPO.
Yep.
Use the RPO to get him comfortable. That's
And
what
Lance
you
didn't run but twice the entire second half because the 49ers found success running the football with different options. They're going to need them all this Sunday.
Now, I will say this. Trey Lance definitely brought a downfield element to the offense that Jimmy Garoppolo does not bring.
Right.
He also brought a presence throwing the football outside, which Jimmy does not do at all. But I will say this. I actually almost, if he's healthy, would rather have Jimmy out there this week. Although I would like to see Trey actually make the playoff run for one very simple reason. That Rams defense weaknesses are linebackers. The middle of the field is vulnerable. Now, Trey might be able to go and attack the middle of the field. He just might not have shown it last week, but he might be able to do it just as well as Jimmy does. Right now, we don't know.
You know what the 49ers did to expose the Texans? It's going to be the same thing they're going to do against the Rams and that linebacking core. Elijah Mitchell up the middle. Because not only is Mitchell back in the fold, but we got the best damn tight end in the game in George Kittle. You can run with him. You can send him down the middle and have Lance find him. And Lance did on three separate occasions. That linebacking core is their weak spot, just like the secondary is our weak spot.
Yeah.
We got the horses.
That's what I'm saying.
Use the middle.
Can Lance exploit the middle though? Because we know Jimmy likes it over the middle. Like Jimmy actually plays well against the Rams because he knows how to attack the weak spot of that defense.
Yeah.
Trey last week, we saw him throw to the outside numbers a lot. And if you're going to throw to the outside, if you're Trey, you can only throw to one side of the field. Because I don't advise throwing near Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
As a Florida State fan, I'm going to advise you not to do that. So that's my question with Trey is, can he attack the middle in the same way? Because if he can't, you might actually be better off if Jimmy's healthy enough to be out there. Now, I've said it before.
Yeah.
Jimmy's not 100%. Stay on the sideline, bro. Do not go out there because you're garbage.
Don't take the risk. If Jimmy cannot throw the football effectively, especially in the soft spot of that Rams defense, keep him on the sideline.
Keep him down.
Yeah. I mean, you may be seeing him throw across the middle here this week just because, you don't have a lot of tape on Trey Lance. And I mean, like you were saying, if he hasn't been throwing across the middle before, they may not be expecting him to do it here this week. So, I mean, if Shanahan can prepare him to do so and, get him educated and comfortable doing that, that could be a big factor.
It's actually kind of funny when you think about it because throwing in the middle of the field is actually a very dangerous place to throw. A lot of bad things can happen there. And Jimmy actually does a great job of doing it. Yet we always criticize Jimmy. And that's why I always say if Jimmy's healthy and he's on his game, he plays like a top 10 quarterback. The problem is when he's not 100%, he plays like a bottom 10 quarterback. Most of the time you're getting like a 15 to 20 guy. But
I've mentioned this on my show many times over. Cool, you've been with me. The only piece of bad luck that Garoppolo has been injuries. But I will add a word, key injury. Because when we lost him for last week's game against Houston, it's kind of a blessing and a curse. You would love to have Garoppolo be in there so he can continue his streak of games started. But at the same time, Lance got a chance to up his game. He had a chance to turn over that Texan defense. He led him to a field goal at the end of the first half, and then the second half was all his, especially that 45-yard bomb to Deebo Samuel that essentially put the game away.
Yeah.
I would love to have Garoppolo out there because he throws over the middle and he is very familiar. And it's been the middle of that Rams defense that has been the soft spot during this 5-game winning streak against the Rams.
I will say the one advantage we might have if we can roll with Lance through the rest of this run is there's not a lot of film on him.
Right.
We saw last week a little bit about how he changes the offense. And that is going to continue to evolve every week. They're going to find new ways to make the offense fit to him. So every time you come up with a little bit something to do, the 49ers are going to be able to do something different. It's similar to what Kaepernick was able to do the year that he took the team to the Super Bowl.
And it was very similar.
It was something
to
different that people weren't ready for.
And
now,
it was
the
very
following
similar.
season, different story, but
But it's also very similar to the transition the 49ers made from Montana to Young. Young brought a
quick question for you guys. I know y'all loving on these 49ers over here, but we're here as well. So what do you guys think about our tight end, Dallas Goddard?
I've loved Dallas Goddard since his days at South Dakota State. I was one of the first that said he would be one hell of a tight end in the NFL, and I also predicted him to be a first-round draft pick. Dallas Goddard is shaping himself, into being a hell of a tight end. He's got great hands. He can go across the middle. He can take the hits, and plus, like Travis Kelce, like George Kittle, and like Waller, he can stretch the field. And like Zach Ertz, he can. He's one of the tight ends that can stretch the field by air and by land. Goddard is the young, complete tight end that the Eagles need him to be and want him to be. Goddard is.
He's proven himself as a great blocker too, as well in the run game.
Yeah.
Yes.
My only gripe, I love Goddard, is he is consistent, but he has some crucial drops and big moments. But I mean, yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's my only gripe about Goddard. But overall, man, he's impressed me since he came.
And I expect Goddard to get better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with Ertz out of the system now.
Yeah, I expect Goddard to get better in that Philadelphia offense. But I knew about Goddard from his days at South Dakota State, and I knew the team that drafted him would use him properly. And that team is the Philadelphia Eagles. I love what he does for the Eagles offense.
Now I'll say, Eagles draft well at tight end. There's a lot of positions that we don't do so well at, but I think if we want to name, since we're going to name tight end, I'd say the position I think we do the worst at drafting, and that's cornerback, because I think we have no type of development system for cornerbacks. But
and linebackers,
linebackers as well, but I think corners is even worse. But linebackers is bad too.
Corners has been the last 5 years. Corners has been worse for Philadelphia.
The bane on our existence. And the thing is, it's not the talent. These guys are going on other places and playing well, so it's clearly whatever they're not getting in Philadelphia. So that needs to change, or we need to keep going out and get veteran guys and overpaying them. So I don't know, Philadelphia. At one point, it's probably going to catch up to you. So we probably need to straighten out this problem.
Yeah,
but,
you want to straighten out this problem quick.
Yes,
you want to straighten out this problem quick, especially now with the Eagles having a chance to make a deep playoff run. And you got to solve that problem. And same with the 49ers. Our secondary has to get stronger and has to get stronger fast.
Injuries.
Now, do you notice anything there, Snowman? Do you notice anything about like who our defensive coordinator is and a team that he might have played for at some point, where some of this not getting the secondary prepared might have rubbed off on him?
Nothing but
there. After that, we're going to start talking about something else, okay? Because
before I move on, I since I haven't been on the show before, I wanted to get Steven's thoughts. Like, do you think Trey Lance is going to be your starter next year? Like, you guys getting rid of Jimmy G?
Absolutely.
No.
No, I do. I don't think Jimmy's come back next year because of the cap hit. The only question I have is, what are you going to be able to trade him for?
Yeah.
Are you going to try to get another player? Are you going to be able to get a draft pick? What kind of draft pick you getting? What kind of draft pick you going to get? That's the question. I think that they are absolutely turning the team over to trade next year.
I don't think so. I think he stays put. And I'll say it again. The only problem that Jimmy G has had during his time in San Francisco has been injury. There's going to be a lot. I will say this, Stephen, to your point, there's going to be a lot of peer pressure for the 49ers organization to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. There's been pressure on him since last year. And some of these cool, Stephen, please forgive me. There are a lot of these stupid idiots in the media that don't look at the entire picture. They certainly don't look at the entire picture when it comes to the Eagles. Period. They don't. I think Garoppolo stays put, but there's going to be a lot of peer pressure, not actual organization pressure, but there's going to be a lot of peer pressure to trade Garoppolo,
especially if Trey Lance plays.
Yes,
pretty well if he starts.
You win the game in the playoffs.
Yeah, here's something for you to think about, though. The 49ers were able to bring back a lot of guys on defense this year on one-year contracts because of the salary cap not going up the way it was expected to. They're not going to be able to re-sign those guys next year. They're going to have to free up cap space somewhere to be able to rebuild the defense the way they need to. They also brought in guys like Arden Key. They brought back DJ Jones this year, who are both being big contributors on that defensive line. Man, and Nick Bosa is going to be coming up for contract extension soon. You're going to have to end up paying Debo. So you're going to have to find money somewhere. And that easiest place to find that money is trading Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but in the time,
it's not like that.
Yes, it is.
Hey, I just spit facts, man. I just bring the truth, bro. That's all I can do.
I know, and it's a situation that is unfortunate because from this point of context, Garoppolo's 49er career is somewhat incomplete, and I say that only because of all the injuries that he's had to go through during his time there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like most 49ers fans. My co-host will tell you, I like Jimmy. I think Jimmy's a good quarterback.
I like Jimmy.
But the cap hit is going to be a problem. The cap hit's going to be a issue. Yeah,
it's going to be an issue. And for what you gave up for Trey Lance and for what he brings potential to the offense, somebody's going to come along and offer you something nice enough to make you let go of Jimmy too.
You probably do honestly have to let go of Jimmy just because you got to kind of do what the Eagles did. You got to put him out there. First year you don't expect but so much. If he can overdo it like Hurts did this year, then great. But if not, you at least getting him that year of getting the opportunity to play, read defenses, become a better thrower, and grow throughout the season. You got to do that at some point. You might as well do it as quickly as possible, instead of kind of pulling the Band-Aid off slowly. Just rip that sucker off. That's what you got to do with him.
And hey, if Jimmy can be healthy and go on a run through the playoffs and bring us the title, I'm cool with that. He's still going to get shipped off in the offseason, even if he does, but I'm cool with it,
Hey, the championship you gonna ship him off? Y'all gonna nick Bosa?
It could be. It's a situation. It's a situation.
You understand, Dave? We get a first rounder for him if he wins the championship this year. Do you understand?
I'm just saying, y'all gonna Nick Foles and Dad.
Look, we need first rounders, okay?
No, we don't. We found some gems late. In the second, third, fourth rounders. We found some gems.
You can definitely do that. You can definitely do that. I think
we found some gems in the second, third, and fourth round. And plus, one of the areas aside of our secondary that's going to get shored up in the draft, offensive line. There's a ton of offensive linemen available this year.
God, yes, and please let Philadelphia get one too. At least one.
Some man might be right. Our best bet might be to trade Jimmy for 5 third-round draft picks.
Yeah, and
we need to get
5 thirds.
We need the Eagles. We need a center because Jason Kelce cannot play forever. We got to get a center.
Yes, he can.
It was looking like Dickerson was going to be that dude, and then they're just fine with him playing on.
Yeah, he's doing so good at guard. It's kind of like, I'm saying, like at one point we were going to have Lane Johnson be the left tackle of the future, but he was playing so good at right tackle. It's like, why switch it? Just leave him where he's at.
Right.
I think that's what's going to
happen.
We
got lucky with Mailata.
Yes.
He's fantastic.
That was like a 3-year project, and it worked out in the end, and it was great. So I'm so happy that's working out because, boy, if it did not,
y'all
don't understand.
But I'm going to miss Jason Kelce, though. Jason Kelce was like the anchor.
When he leaves, I'm going to miss him too, man. But at some point, I mean, he's not going to be able to play forever. So you got to kind of realize he's way more towards the end of his career than the beginning or the middle.
Right.
So it's time. Time to go ahead and get somebody in there that's kind of ready, so that they can get a year or so, maybe to learn as his understudy. But this may be Jason Kelce's last year.
Yeah, we've been saying that for like 5 years, 4 years now.
He's
Every
been saying
year, it's like, is he coming back? Who knows? And then we got to wait until like March or April to figure that out.
True that. What's up, Whitty?
What's up, Whitty?
What was that celebration?
Real quick? after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, what was that celebration they had? The word I can't think it. There were certain kind of outfits they were wearing during the parade, and I can't think of what that word outfits. Is. The what?
Oh, the mummers. The mummers outfit.
Mummers.
Oh, the mummers.
There it is.
The mummers outfit.
There it is. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. That's the word I was looking for, because Jason Kelce acted a fool during that celebration.
I gotta say, man, the fact that the job I had at the time, I could not get that day off like at the last minute.
Oh,
I was really disappointed. But guess what? Though,
at the parade,
I didn't get to go to the parade. But guess what? I was a zombie at work because I stayed up all night partying. I was a zombie at work. I was at work like, huh? What?
So cool. Hey, I know you're getting ready to move us on. So I just want to throw out one final note on this 49ers game. And you probably already know what it is. I just want to say, screw you, NFL. Screw you, Fox. You decided that you were going to move the Falcons and the Saints game
to 425.
To 425, so that we wouldn't know the outcome of the game, to force us to have to play. Listen, we were going to go beat the Rams regardless, okay? We were going to go handle our business. You didn't have to do that. But now, as someone who lives in Atlanta,
you know what
I have to find an alternative way to watch my game, because you are torturing us by forcing us to watch the Atlanta Falcons. And I will sue you for emotional distress from making me watch the Falcons.
Hey, Box. Think of it this way. You know what the NFL's thinking? The NFL doesn't give a about the 49ers. That's why they sent the Rams and the Saints to play at 425. They want the confusion. I figured this game out a long time ago, as long as I've been a 49er fan. And even after they started flexing games in 1990. They were flexing games in 1990, and they were trying back then when they were flexing games, it wasn't 3 or 4 or 5 at a time. And then you find out, like with these gentlemen to my right, Philadelphia's playing Saturday night instead of Sunday afternoon, on 3 different blankety blank doggone networks, when it should be only one. It should be ABC. And anyone who's watched my show knows my thoughts about how broadcasting should work, especially with the NFL, but I completely digress. But that's why they don't want to see. Well, shoot, Joe Buck is calling the game. Joe and Troy Aikman's calling the game, and Troy Aikman's already got 49er nightmares. I mean, the NFC Championship from 2 years ago.
It's better than listening to Chris Collinsworth, at least. But
not to mention the fact the third time was the charm when they came to Candlestick Park and we put a foot in their ass.
All I'm gonna say on announcers is, I will listen to Joe Buck. I will listen to Chris Collinsworth, and give me any of them. Do not, and I plead with every network, do not put Robert Griffin III ever on a Sunday game. Because if you do, if it's the Eagles, I'm turning the volume all the way down. Dude,
hey, you know what you do? You know what you do, McCain?
Oh.
You turn on turn on 94 WIP, and you turn up Merrill Reese and Harold Collins. That's how you solve that problem. Because sometimes when I can't listen to Joe Buck, I go find Greg Papa and Tim Green to call the game. I've been a radio man all my life.
I put music on and listen to music instead. I will not listen to RG3. I don't want to see his face.
So first of all, you know I agree with you 100% on RG3, because I'm the one who told you how bad he was to begin with.
Yes, Lord.
Who the hell taught RG3?
Then I listened to him. I was like, oh my gosh.
But check this out. Yeah, he thought I was exaggerating. He's like, he can't be that bad. He was like, oh my God, you're right, Box. He is terrible. But hold up. I got to say this real quick, man, because we didn't talk about this early in the show, and this actually did happen since our last show. While we're talking about announcers, man, we got to go ahead and just say RIP to John Madden, man. Major influence on the league, man. One of the best announcers of all time.
We actually did last week. You missed it. Yeah.
Oh, we did. I almost did it before I came on.
Again.
We're doing it again because you started without me.
Let's do it again.
We're doing it again, and we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing it because
and RIP to Dan Reeves as well.
If I had a marker to draw on the screen right now, I would.
You know what Fox should do? And Troy Aikman mentioned this during the Cowboys Cardinals game. They had a bug in the right-hand corner One side of it was the Madden silhouette, and the other was the NFL. They should leave it like that. Make that a permanent change.
That would be cool.
They should make that a permanent change. In fact, that should be the universal bug for all the networks. That should be the universal bug for all the networks.
I'm not big on Chris Collinsworth either, Tyler. But what you have to understand is if you have the option to do him or Robert Griffin, you go with Chris Collinsworth 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, I would rather listen to Chris Collinsworth rehash the 2 times he lost to the Niners in the Super Bowl yet again than listen to RG3 ever again in my life.
I would rather hear Troy Aikman and Chris Collinsworth, with Troy Aikman getting slurred when he's talking about the quarterbacks getting hit in the pocket and all that. I'd rather listen to that than RG3.
If you made people listen to RG3 give a keynote speech when they went to prison, people would stop going to prison.
That's foul, but that's also true.
I would agree.
It cracks me up every time you see that Collinsworth slide too. Whenever they introduce him, it slides on over to him. Yeah. Every single time, it just cracks me up. I'm like, oh, here's this guy again. You gotta listen to this guy.
Y'all remember once upon a time, Troy Aikman and Chris Collinsworth actually were partners. They were in a 3-man booth with Joe Buck in the early 2000s in the Fox.
There was a lot of times that my volume was off. I remember. And I want to say that was before what they do now, where you have a home team that talks during halftime. That's back when you had to listen to them talk at halftime too.
Yep.
So for halftime, it was still off. I was sitting there like, show me the game highlights. I don't want to hear y'all.
I don't know if you listened to, I think it was a week or so ago, Mark Sanchez did one, and he wasn't great either whenever he was commentating.
You know what?
I forget which game it was, but Mark Sanchez wasn't great.
He was at least funny, though.
My wife
he had
and
no clue about football, but he was funny.
My wife and I caught that, and she looked at me and said, who is that narrating the highlights? And I said, if my voice recognition is correct, I believe that to be Mark Sanchez. She snatched the control. She snatched the remote control out of my hand and turned it off and said, we're not watching this until he's done or they're done with halftime.
So
you know what happened then?
I affectionately like to call him.
It was a Thursday night game. You know what happened that Thursday night? We both fell asleep.
I don't blame you.
I like to call him Sark Manches, the Manchise.
The Manchise.
I will say this, in all honesty.
Why are you cussing like that?
We had 2 or 3 good Thursday night games this week. Just get rid of them, man. You promised us extra football, but it's garbage.
Listen, this is what needs to happen. You need to revert everything back to where it was before 1994. CBS had the NFC package, NBC had the AFC package. Sunday Night Football was on ESPN, and Monday Night Football was on ABC minus the doggone Disney ears. Can we get back to that?
No, sirs, it's not going to happen. There's too much money in this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, billions of dollars.
I'm going to speak to your point after you say what you guys say. I want to speak to your point real quick.
Here's the real problem. We need good matchups, right?
Yes.
We need good matchups. So don't put Tampa Bay against
Dallas,
Carolina Panthers on Thursday night. We know what's going to happen in that game, right?
Oh my gosh.
If you put Houston and Jacksonville together on a Thursday night game.
Watch that?
But it's going to actually be a decent game because it's 2 teams that are on the same skill.
It'll be competitive. Yeah.
Anybody got time for that? No, I'm sorry.
And I'll say,
okay.
We want competitive games that make you interested to watch, right? We don't want a juggernaut and then whoever.
This is how you solve that game. You do what they did with Sunday Night Football. Split them. If it's a sucky game, flex it. You put the flex rules in play all season. You look at the Thursday night schedule. If it's a sucky game,
you can't flex somebody from Sunday to Thursday though, because that's garbage for who you flexing. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're saying the only flex item is the two teams who are on bye. That's the only way it would be reasonable. Because if not, that sucks.
Yeah.
If I'm supposed to play Sunday, anytime I got to play Thursday, bro.
And who wants to get their bye switched around?
Jody and I lived in North Carolina for 2 years, and of course the main team they covered was the Carolina Panthers. Didn't matter if it was Sunday, Monday, or Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of nights we had Thursday night football, and we get our snacks together. We didn't even see the matchup, and Jody looked at me and she says, "Are the Panthers playing tonight?" And my head would drop like this, and she said, "Come on, we're going to bed. We're not watching." But she's like, "I don't care. It's the Panthers. We're going to bed."
That still applies, sir. That still applies.
Yeah, I know it does. But I have to be nice when it comes to the Panthers. And if y'all will allow me this shout out, let me shout out Mick Mixon, the fabulous radio voice of the Carolina Panthers. His last game before his retirement is Sunday, and I had a chance to chat with him this morning. So, Mick, I've enjoyed having you on my show for the past 2 seasons. Much love and much respect to you, and much success to you in your retirement.
What's up? I will just say this real quick to Cool's point about the money. There's one thing that's always bothered me about the NFL, or at least over the last few years. This really bothered me. So we keep talking about money. We keep talking about how they want all these games, and they want the extra games and all this other stuff.
Yep.
Why on earth do you only allow there to be one freaking game on in either the early or the late time slot? Why can we not have 4 football games?
And why do you have to pay for the service that allows you to watch multiple games at either the 1 o'clock or the 4 o'clock spot?
Like you get 1 and 1. You don't even get like 1 and 2 anymore.
Pay for services that allows you, that would give you the chance, I should say, to watch multiple games at the 1 o'clock or the 4 o'clock slot.
I'm gonna give you that Johnny Manziel real quick. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's all. That's all that is.
You would think they would want the extra money of actually be able to air 4 games instead of 3.
Yeah.
You would think they'd want that money.
But that will require them to be smart, like CBS with March Madness.
Yeah. And then you got all these new different streaming services trying to put their hands in the pot, try to get, Amazon with Thursday night or
Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah.
They jumped all over that.
Very true. Very true.
They jumped all over it.
Now, guys, we're just gonna hop through a few things real quick. Yeah. They're not topics that take a lot of time, but just some things I wanted to discuss since we're on the show. So I'm just gonna let everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna let everybody just give their quick thoughts on. We're just gonna do the two together. So you got Antonio Brown and his situation, and the fact that Demarcus Cousins got cut again. So what are you guys' thoughts on those two things, real quick?
Demarcus Cousins can't stay healthy, and the full situation hasn't come out about Antonio Brown yet. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with when it comes to Demarcus Cousins. That's mad to me at this point, honestly. The Antonio Brown thing, I found it interesting the day after, and I made a post on my Facebook. They had, it's kind of funny how everybody jumped all over it, and honestly, I think it's kind of sad that people want to jump on and start making all these jokes and memes and stuff. The dude clearly has mental issues. There's nothing funny about mental health.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed to see people jumping on that personally. But here's the thing. Do I believe Antonio Brown 100%? No. You know why? Because Antonio Brown has not given me a reason to believe him 100%. He's acted a fool every opportunity he's gotten. He has destroyed his own credibility. You now are attacking Tom Brady, the only person who actually has had your back.
I was going to bring that up too. Is like
that's giving him an opportunity.
But
yeah,
I will
him
say
going on that podcast stating like he should have been paid because he knew Tom Brady or something. Like, it was crazy.
If there's any credibility to his claims that Tampa Bay tried to make him go in when he told them that he was hurt and that he did not feel comfortable going in, the NFLPA is going to investigate that.
Yeah.
And we've seen over and over again, I don't know what the NFL does to people, but they are very good at getting people to flip on each other. So I have absolutely no doubt if there's truth to that, it will come out and Tampa's going to get in trouble for it. Now, if that happens, we're all going to be looking at Tom Brady like, let's see, New England, Tampa, so like one connected piece at Tom. Bill ain't in Tampa. So
one final point from me with the highlight of mental issues with athletes, in particular male athletes, it should be a highlight to society about how men are treated, no matter what kind of profession that they're in. Because as a person that has suffered from depression for most of his life, but didn't get clinically diagnosed until 2017, men are taught in society, especially male athletes, are taught to just hammer it down, keep it down, keep it down, keep it down, keep going, keep grind through everything. Love the mentality, but riddle me this, Batman. What happens when you keep grinding it down so much that instead of it turning into a foundation, it turns into a plunger? What happens when you push a plunger on a bunch of dynamite? It explodes. That should be the highlight. That is what I'm taking from this entire situation. And it's very personal to me, but it's also very personal to a lot of men that I have spoken with. And it's not fair for us to, as men, to be treated the way that we're treated. And one of the things that my partner Cole Johnson said on the show this morning, what men should do is borrow Golden State's tagline, strength in numbers. Even if you just offer an encouraging word or a laugh or something, because men have to hold down a lot more than people think. And again, when that foundation begins to crumble, that foundation turns into a plunger. And what happens when you have an explosive or two or three, in my case, three, losing my dad, my mom, and my daughter, three explosive situations that a man has been forced to hold down until the right person comes along. What happens when that plunger is pushed? Everything explodes, and the pieces have to be picked up.
Yeah. I mean, perfect comparison to what you're saying, man, is look at how everyone reacted to Simone Biles. I mean, you had some idiots out there, but for the most part, people ran to her, supported her, held her up. Yeah. Why don't we show that same kind of love to men?
Yeah.
Even with like Lane Johnson and Calvin Ridley this season in football, with them missing multiple games. Lane, I think, was out like 4 or 5, and then Calvin, Ridley was out most of the season now.
Yeah. Now, all it took was one person starting a rumor. Keep that word in mind, a rumor. Not even something we know for sure to be true. Right. He wants a trade out of Atlanta, and now you've got people running around going, "Oh, he never had anything wrong with him."
And now now it's an explosive situation. It's a situation where everybody's offering their thoughts on something they do not know the entirety thereof.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say real quickly, Calvin Ridley, if you would like to reunite with two gentlemen that you know well that will support you, there's a team in Philadelphia.
Got a nice second spot there, a slot spot for you.
A second spot on one side. And we
take
can
Rager's spot.
You ran into it, my brother.
And since Paul McCain's throwing out the first joke, I'll throw out this one. Kyle Shanahan on line 1, please. Cal Ridley's waiting for you. But I offer this to you guys. For anyone that knows of the Snowman and knows of me or has known me, I'm there for you. I'm there for every one of you guys. It has to start with that. We can joke, we can laugh, we can pick on each other, we can pick on each other's teams or whatever. But at the end of the day, for almost 70 minutes, we've just been here having a grand old time. And I say, strength in numbers.
I just want to highlight Witty Flow's comment real quick.
I'm reading this. BA about to get exposed. AB, like that hot girl you don't want to break up with because she'll blackmail you. Oh man.
That's an interesting take. Now, why?
Well, AB's kind of dealing with that right now with that chick going out there posting screenshots from Antonio and saying she was in the hotel room with him and that she like tested positive for COVID and shit. It's wild what's going on with this Antonio Brown situation.
And the bad part is the first station that got a hold of that story was WFAN in New York. The girl called. I only heard parts of it. So I don't know if WFAN was the first station, but I know it was one of the stations that talked to the woman involved. She was on Carton and Roberts.
We're not gonna spend any more time on Antonio Brown. Yeah. I'm gonna just let Wyatt give his thoughts on them too, and we're gonna leave Antonio Brown alone.
I mean, I don't really have too much thoughts as far as Antonio. Demarcus Cousins, Boogie. At this point, I just think he might be washed, man. I don't see him. Really doing much other than sitting on the bench, coming off the bench for another team, maybe a contender if they want him. But I don't know. I don't really see him doing much.
Yeah, I'll quickly say, man, AB, I think it's in the middle. I think at least part of what he's saying is true, but I think it may be a little over sensationalism. So I think you have a little bit of that. When we talk about Demarcus Cousins, I mean, you guys have already said what it really is. He's pretty good, but at the same time, he's older. He's not the same player. You know, I know Milwaukee got rid of him because they just wanted to keep an open spot. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, I don't know if you just moved your mic or whatever, but we're getting like feedback on it.
Yeah, I'm getting an echo.
But yeah, so I mean, we got the picks, man. If you want to do the picks, we can rock with that. I know we're already at about 12 minutes over.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and run through the picks real quick, though. All right, so Saturday we got the Chiefs at the Broncos. I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I'm gonna go Broncos in a stunner.
Oh,
I'm on the island in Waikiki.
Have you been drinking?
No, sir.
So Saturday night we have our glorified preseason game against the Cowboys and the Eagles, where everyone will be on COVID.
Fly, Eagles, fly!
I'm going with them birds in Philly.
Bird game.
Yeah, Dallas' entire defense is out, I believe, so I'm gonna go Philly.
Yeah, and I trust Gardner Minshew playing over any backup that Dallas has.
Valid point.
That's fair. Yeah. All right, moving to Sunday, we got the Packers at the Lions.
Who cares? Next question.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with Packers. Colts at the Jaguars. I'm taking the Colts.
Colts 44, Jaguars
I've
-2.
already told y'all who I'm taking. Jaguars. I'm doing an island again.
Nelson Jaguar.
Nelson Jaguar.
I'm not going to touch that.
This is what happens when Eagles fans get together.
Oh man!
All right, we got the Washington football team, who will apparently soon have a name, and the Giants.
Washington.
Hail to the Redskins.
Well, I'm going with the hail to the football team. I'm being politically correct, Mr. Snowman.
I'm not.
The Giants.
I'm old and I'm old school. Hail to the Redskins.
The Giants have every reason to lose this game to improve their draft stock, which is exactly why they would do something stupid and win. I'm picking the Giants.
That is a fair point.
We've been saying it for the past couple weeks on Squad Pod Sports. Even though they have like 4 wins, the Giants are the worst team in the NFL. I don't care like the Lions, or the Jags. No, Giants are the bottom. They are the worst.
I don't know, man.
Tell me how the hell they held the Panthers. Then tell me how in the hell they held the Panthers to 3 points after the Panthers got the first point of that game.
I don't know, man. I just don't trust them at all.
Lucky game.
All right, we got the Bears at the Vikings. Neither team has anything to play for.
Skull Vikings.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Vikings.
I saw the Vikings without Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins decides not to play this week, I'm going to go Chicago. If Kirk Cousins plays, the Vikings will win.
That's fair.
Titans at the Texans.
Tighten up.
Titans, definitely.
I was going to say, you still swimming over there by yourself on the island? Or
not for this one.
Make it short.
I think Woody has some some unlove for the Cowboys, or as we like to call them on this show, the Arlington football team.
The Arlington football team.
The disrespect.
The AT&T Stadium football team.
In Arlington.
I must use that. The Arlington football team.
Feel free.
Must use that.
Just shout us out. Feel free.
Hey, shout out to Couch Coach from last week. What's up, Lily?
Wow.
The Arlington football team, courtesy of Sideline Sports and the Play Callers Show. I've got to use that. I've got to use that.
I switched it up from the Dallas football team to the Arlington football team where they truly play it.
Yes. The Steelers at the Ravens.
Steelers.
Tie.
If Huntley plays, I'm going to go Ravens. I think Huntley will be able to do enough to win that game against the Steelers. Ben's arm is done.
I don't know who's going to win this game, but anybody who watches it is going to lose.
Yeah.
Those are the real losers. You are right. You are right. Those are the real losers. I'm sorry, Steelers fans. I'm sorry, Baltimore fans.
That game. You have to wonder if Ian Eagle's going to be calling that Ravens Steelers game. CBS has the call for that game. Oh, brother.
They should put RG3 on that game.
Oh, God.
Wow. Bengals at the Browns.
Bengals. Yeah. The Browns are done.
Yeah, the Browns are done, bro.
All right. Well, we know who Brian's taking, and we know who I'm taking. Got the 49ers at the Rams.
Taking the 49ers.
Yeah, I'll take 49ers in that one.
I mean, I whoop them all the time. So one of these days we're going to all be wrong making this pick off this assumption, but I mean, not something.
Listen, for my Eagle brothers here on the screen, I'm staying with what Eric Wilson said. 6 versus 7, Eagles, 49ers for the NFC Championship. I'm ready. Until I'm proven wrong and I'm shown wrong. We'll be talking in about 3 weeks' time, prepping for an NFC Championship. I'm rolling with it.
I sure hope so. I hope you're right.
I got to put this one up, y'all. I got to put this one up. This is great.
Counselor Kirk. Oh, my Lord.
So,
hey, Whitty, I got a question.
So Whitty also said this about the football team's name.
Wait a minute. Whitty, I got a question. Do you think Paul Allen, the great Vikings announcer, uses Camp Counselor Kirk during some games?
Pretty doubtful. I'd say the odds are about as good as the whoever is the voice announcer for the Cowboys using the Arlington football team.
I think the odds are about as good as really get his wish and they're being the real Wolves, because I don't think that's going to happen.
You know what, Steven? I could hear Brad Sham saying the Arlington football team just to throw it out there.
Could you hear Jerry Jones?
Henceforth and forevermore, here on the Play Callers. I'm sorry, one of my mentors, Megan, but it's the Arlington football team.
It's official.
It's the Arlington football team and nothing else.
Hey, Woody, do me a favor. Put that in the chat so we can put it in writing.
Yes. Please put it in chat. It's the Arlington football. Man, Megan's going to yell at me Thursday when I have her on the show, but it's the Arlington football team. I'm going with it.
Until they do anything noteworthy, it's the Arlington football team.
She's going to give it to me on Monday. Oh, well.
Thank you.
I might get a message tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Panthers at the Bucks.
Bucks 124, Panthers -5.
Definitely go with the Bucks.
Got the Seahawks at the Cardinals.
Tie. Who cares?
Cardinals. Well, wait a minute. Home game or road game?
In Arizona.
I'm going to still say Cardinals, but by like 3.
I'll go with Cardinals in this one.
Yeah,
31-31 tie.
Like
I'm going on the island.
I'm going on the island. I'm going on an island on this one.
Well, clearly not.
Well, you're not going to be on the. Well, yeah, you are on the island that one. Yeah.
I'm on a different island. I'm going to Seattle.
Sean Penny gonna have like 200 yards rushing for Seattle.
And then they're still gonna lose.
You know what? I changed my mind. Since it's in Arizona, I'm going with the Birds. I'm going with the Cardinals.
Okay.
For the simplest of reasons, Pete Carroll needs to go. There, I said it.
At least my island is quiet. I'm all by myself.
Oh man.
All right, we got the we already did that. Sorry, the Patriots at the Dolphins.
Patriots.
Yeah. Anybody taking the Dolphins?
Yep. We can see the look on his face.
He's thinking about it.
I am.
He is. He's calling for the upset, folks.
Upset.
He's calling for the upset.
Okay.
John Shearer, Dolphins, baby. Let's go.
I am. Okay, you know what? If they win, I'll play the Dolphins fight song in its entirety, the whole 70 seconds. I'll play the song. I'm definitely expecting to play Fly Eagles Fly on Monday.
This is the point where I wasn't aware the Dolphins had a fight song. Next game, we got the Saints at the Falcons.
Steven, don't mess with me like that, man.
I'm going to go with Saints, but real close.
I'm going Falcons by 3.
I'm not mad with
Falcons as well.
I'm not mad with that. I'm honestly not mad with that. It's a pickle.
I'm gonna say third quarter. The Saints are gonna start scoreboard watching. They're gonna see the 49ers are up big, and they're going to fold, and the Falcons are gonna win.
All right, Taft. That's the acronym, y'all. So if we say Taft, we're talking about the Arlington football team.
I love it. Anytime you hear us say Taft, that's the Arlington football team, and that's definitely courtesy. That's definitely courtesy of Sideline Sports. I gotta shout out this show and Sideline Sports. Y'all are great.
Oh, by the way, Ryan, Woody did respond to your question about Counselor Kirk.
Oh, no.
He did.
Paul Allen, the legendary radio voice of the Minnesota Vikings, he would say that on air too.
All right, we got the Jets and the Bills.
For a guy who has seen more pain with one team.
Yeah, Bills.
Bills.
All right. Got the Chargers at the Raiders.
San Diego Chargers.
The Raiders.
I'm also going with the Superchargers.
Yes,
Island,
thank you.
Island life, baby. Island life. So peaceful.
The San Diego Superchargers, and I got that song too.
That was Berman, wasn't it? Chris Berman when that Chris Berman used to say that.
That was actually a song in San Diego.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll have to send it to you.
I'll take your word.
There are 2 versions of that, but Chris Berman always used Superchargers. That was the lyric in the song.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I would say shame on you, but I know better because there's people out there that know a lot more football than I do. So I'm not going to say shame on you. To why?
I knew about the Dolphins fight song. I didn't know about the Chargers one though.
Well, you know the team that the Dolphins borrowed that fight song from, at least the melody thereof. Houston Oilers.
Oh, okay.
They're not using it anymore.
I will throw this out there. Brian, I'm sure you are familiar with this. I ran into a couple 49ers fans over the course of this week.
Yeah.
Because they saw a Brian, if you don't mind, just mute your mic. We're still getting that feedback. I noticed they were getting upset because E40 has a song called Bang Bang Nana Gang. And so a lot of 49ers fans run around and say it. And they actually were under the impression that this was like ours, that we came up with it. So 49ers fans, I just want you to know, we stole that from the Steelers. Stop getting mad at other people when you stole their stuff.
I'm definitely saying Bang Bang Niner Gang for this Sunday.
Yeah,
When
I'm still going to use it, but I'm just not going to get mad when I hear Pittsburgh fans use it.
You know what? Don't get me started with Pittsburgh fans. I know too many of them.
So I just had to throw that out real quick because I was like, come on, people.
Bang Bang Niner Gang. Love it.
Now,
the
I
year we
did
went to the Super Bowl.
I did see
the
a
year
fly that said Rams Empire. Nah, y'all got to step off of that one.
As an old friend of mine would say best, not no, but hell no.
Well, all we worry about is this bird game. We flying all day.
Listen, fly Eagles fly. I've been a fan of the Eagles for a while. Fly Eagles fly. I have no
since I
problem.
was knee high to a tabletop.
There you go. Yeah. I got no issue, no qualms, no problems with the Philadelphia Eagles. In particular, because I love their play-by-play guy, Merrill Reese.
Yeah,
one of the legends. Yeah. And I saw a video where he did the Super Bowl with Harold Carmichael, and I never thought I'd see Merrill Reese get that excited. I love it. I love it.
Harold Carmichael, just for you all who don't understand this, is a god to the Eagles. Stands and organization. Just in case anyone does not understand that. He is a god.
Cunningham to Carmichael, 99 yards in overtime to win a game. Saw it live on CBS.
Just want to make people aware that he has a god status.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, when you clear on that.
Like I said, I got no issue. No issue. There should be a 40. When the Eagles and Niners meet for the NFC Championship, there should be a race between Harold Carmichael and Jerry Rice. Because remember, Jerry Rice sprinted to the end zone. Wait a minute. Because Jerry Rice sprinted to the end zone when we played the Packers for the NFC Championship.
When they meet in the NFC Championship game, you're going to know that the play callers are watching that game together. That's for sure.
Yes.
That's a live stream, baby. That's a live stream, baby. We got to do that.
Well,
y'all heard it here
together.
first.
So, if that happens, we gonna be together.
There we go. Listen, y'all heard it here first. Should the Niners and Eagles meet for the NFC Championship, that's a live stream with the four of us talking all kinds of mess.
And
I know y'all gonna see peeks of my wife bringing me snacks and me bringing her snacks during the game also, because my wife's a big time football fan.
Nothing wrong with that.
You heard me talking to you from a distance because I'm gonna be looking at the TV now, y'all.
Right. We're gonna be watching the game.
Like this.
And you ain't gonna see me because I'm gonna be on the other side of him. You're gonna see my hat. Like,
you're gonna see mine. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get a hat too. I'm gonna be looking away from the phone, looking right at the television.
Look. I will say this though. If we're in the Super Bowl, I'm not live streaming that.
No, I'm not.
No.
Okay? Because just in case we're not playing well or we lose, you're not gonna have me looking like this guy looked during the draft when the Eagles passed on Jefferson. Okay, I'm not. That's not happening.
Wait a minute though. Wait a minute. Should you know what I'll do? I'll put on Greg Papa's call if we get to the Super Bowl. Look at McCain.
Bro,
I went back and watched that, man. I've never been that angry without cursing in my life.
He tried to hold it too. He tried to hold it, bro, and he did like in his head. He thought he hit it. He really thought he hit it. He thought he stayed calm, but his face told the whole story.
I did not, bro.
You didn't stay calm, did you?
No, sir.
He was like this.
Bro, I'm just sitting there. I'm just waiting. I'm like, all right, I know that he's about to say Justin Jefferson. I ain't even worried about it. I'm like, he's about to get Justin Jefferson. And this is the worst part. Justin Jefferson has said in multiple interviews, he was sitting there waiting on the 215 number, like, yo, what's up? I know I'm going to Philly. So I'm over here like, I know he's going to Philly. He in his career, like, I know I'm going to Philly. And they picked Jalen Frager. who I believe within my heart of hearts would have been in the second, probably even the third round.
Even third round. Yeah.
And we picked him in the first round.
Oh my God.
Look, they
I
said
gotta
Jalen,
have a
and he was
picture.
sitting at home going with Justin, but that's okay. As long as y'all picking me, okay, that's fine.
And then the Vikings picked him up. And
Just like that. I was like, who was in charge? You were cool.
hey, I got a question. Can we do a draft? Can we do a draft party? Can we do like a draft stream?
We've done one the last 2 years. In fact, our show was so good last year. Look, our show was so good last year. We actually had somebody tune into the show and told us that they put the TV on mute and was listening to us.
Well, can I get in on the action? Can I get in on the fun?
Yeah. We ended up doing one last year on Squad Pod Sports.
Nice.
Like a live
I want to
draft
get in. I want to get in on the fun with you guys for like a draft stream. Because I tried doing one last year, and I got so physically ill I had to stop after an hour, and I was ill. I was so, huh?
You need a whole first round.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm getting healthier because I'm gonna get this tumor out of me.
Cool.
So I want to be in on all the fun. I want to be in on all the fun.
We with it.
Come through. Stay as long as you can. Leave if you need to. Take a break, whatever you need, bro. We got you.
I appreciate it.
Right, if y'all don't do one this year, come on. I know if y'all do your own, you're gonna be on that one. But if you don't, come on.
I appreciate it. I may double stream it and put it on my YouTube channel. I'll decide that later. But
I might max this out. I think we do like 10 people on the screen at once. You might just max this thing out. Just get 10 people on the screen.
Yeah. And I'm picking for 2 teams in my house.
I might have to exercise my my administrative mutabilities then. Real quick.
Depending on the Eagles picks, you may have to, sir.
Yeah. I was worried it was going to happen again this past year. I didn't think they were going to pick Devontae.
Wait a minute. I would love to have been there.
I would just have to remove him from the stream real quick.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he wouldn't have to remove me.
Enough sensor for that.
He wouldn't have to remove
Wait a
me. I would
minute.
just remove myself.
So because of a bad pick, we can see Cool McCain turn into George Carlin.
George Carlin.
Or worse.
No, that dude turned into the Incredible Hulk.
With all the cuss words.
He went. Like, I'm gonna tell you what he looked like. Remember the TV show, the Incredible Hulk TV show?
Yes.
Where like how they did Bill Bixby, they did the eyes. That's literally what he did.
He's not lying. He's not lying at all. He's literally not lying.
The end of the episodes when they just show Banner walking down that road, it's just Cool McCain just pissed off.
Cool McCain with his custom Justin Jefferson jersey.
Bro, I'm trying to tell y'all, that is the angriest I've ever been in my life without using a one word of profanity.
And he's an Eagles fan, so that's saying a lot.
Yeah. It's true.
I never thought I would hear about McCain getting that angry and not having the words fly.
Bro, just go watch it. Just go watch the replay. It's on the channel. Just look it up and find it.
Oh, it is?
I was
I got
in
to
so
see
much shock.
this.
I was in shock too. Like I was so upset, but I was in shock.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to see the opposite, if you want to see what pure elation looks like, go back and watch this past year's draft and watch me when we didn't pick Matt Jones.
No. If you really want to see elation, watch the new England Patriots pick Mac Jones.
Oh my God!
We were bringing him back this year.
Yes.
Just
while
for the
we're
New England
throwing
pick.
elation, while we're throwing pure elation jokes out there, watch the New England Patriots when they cut Cam Newton. Look at Cole's face. Look at Cole's face. I mean, Find the line.
There isn't one. There's no one there.
Well, man, that seems like a really great place to go ahead and wrap up our show now that we're like an hour and a half in.
Yes.
So with that, I'm going to go ahead and play the outro video, and we will see y'all next Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Play still as cool as ever.